Hi, welcome to our Android app development training course. Today we are going to take a look at the next lesson, which is our JavaScript. Now, in our previous video, we learned something about how to insert in our JavaScript for the programming. Now, in the previous lesson, we worked on our note editor Java, where we inserted a code for the notes pad. If somebody tap on the add note, he or she will have access to enter whichever name that or whichever information that he or she wants to enter onto his mobile phone or wants to store it on his mobile phone. So all these codes were entered. So the other video I gave you a little explanation about the work of these codes. So I'm going to repeat it one more time before we move to the next one, which is the main activity. So all this code that I inserted it over here, the work is to store whatever a person types, whether a note, contact information, location information, whichever information that the person types onto our notepad application. The notepad will keep a copy or will store it onto the phone for the person. So whenever he or she wants to open it back, he or she will have access to open it from the notepad. So that is the work of this code that I just pasted over here. Now remember that I told you that some of the code, because of time, I don't want to type them, giving you the explanation. That is why I copied from my previous work that I did and pasted it over here. Then I've given you the explanation. So today we are going to move to the next one, which is the main activity. Now we've done working with the note editor. So today we are going to take a look at this portion. The codes, as I made mention, they are already there because I worked on an app for somebody. So I'm going to delete it and repaste it again for you so that you will get that right understanding. So when you are developing anything, you make sure that you build your code somewhere. If you know that if you are going to do a recordings, then you need to type them somewhere. Then when you start your recording, you just go and copy the longest codes, then you paste it, you give explanation to it. So that is what I'm going to do. Now all that I have to do is just paste my codes in there. So these are the Java code for the main activity. The main activity, the person will have access to store the information, to delete the information, to create a new note. So this codes, that is what the main function. So I'm going to go through certain portions which is very important for you to do to get the understanding. So if I scroll upward, I will have access to all the information that I posted. Now every programming in Android that you are doing, when you go to the Java column, you have access to the title of this program. You have your main activity over here. Now under it, that is where you'll be typing all your codes in there. So in between this command, the Republic class activity extends, you copy or you type in your codes, everything over here. Now underneath you have some certain codes over here which says what static ray adapter, meaning whatever that a person will do on the notepad, there's adapter supporting the program to perform. Now if you can check, there's a lot of codes in there. Now I'm going to base on there's a certain important area that I want us to capture. Later on we'll come to certain instructions. Now when you go to list view, this portion, when you come here, if you remember at the activity main, we did a list view command over here. So this command, if the person creates 4 or 5 notes, at the Notepad application, he or she will have access to all the 5 notes that the person did. So this portion gives the list of what notes that you just entered onto your mobile phone. So that is the first quote. Now when you come to the next one, the next option is about here. Now it says that going from the main activity to the editor activity, meaning that if the person click on the add note, the page will switch from note editor to main activity. So there is a work performing in between those two things. If you want to move to the main activity, the system will move automatically. If you want to go back to the editor note area, the system will move backward. So this command over here is the performance of illustration pages. Now the next one, which is this portion, when you come to when the person click on this, it says that view listener. So if the person click on the view, meaning the list of the notes he or she has created on the app, he will have access to delete a certain note that he or she doesn't want it anymore. So if you can see, I've put a comment over here says to delete the data from the app. So he or she will have access to delete it. Now when the person click and hold that list option over here, there will be a statement for the person. There will be a dialog statement. So if you can check, you will have it over here. So this dialog statement will tell the person, are you sure you want to delete this note, yes or no? Then he or she will select yes. So this is the simple and very easy programming. Now the next one is about storing your note. So you can store it, your note there, as I made mention, you can store it. Everything that you type, the system will store it for you. And if you want to delete it, you have access to delete it at any time. All that the person needs to do is just click and hold. If the person click and hold it, the system will pop up a dialog question that are you sure you want to delete it, yes or no? Then he or she will choose yes or no. So this is all the code is about. You've asked the person to have access to certain notes that he or she just created. At the same time, you want the person to delete some of the notes he or she has created on the system. So in programming, all these things you as a programmer need to create and give the person or give the app access to do all these activities. So without much wasting time, let me move to certain errors. In the previous lesson, I told you that whenever you see an error, that means this red note. For example, like this red note. All that you have to do is just put the cursor on it. Then you have exclamation bob sign over here. So you just have to click on it. When you click it, it will give you a certain instructions that create an ID, meaning I did not create an ID for my note, so I have to let the system to create it automatically. So immediately you choose it, you have your resource name note. Then all that you have to do is just click OK. So when you click OK, the red exclamation sign will get lost, meaning I've activated everything, there is no error. So when you are done with the errors, you just glance through again, then you check. I've told you that with the orange exclamation sign, there is no problem with it. You just have to keep on running, it will work for you. See you in the next video where we'll be running our app onto our mobile phone or any other devices that you are having. Have a nice day.